When we talk about user funnels with our NGOs, ultimately we're looking for some impact at the very end. So how many of those users that entered at the top of the funnel actually make it to the bottom? Typically, an NGO will go through these 5 common stages: recruitment, some sort of onboarding or training into the program. Then we get to the meat of your program. We want the users to be engaged through our program all the way to the end. And the assumption is if we retain them to the end of the program, they're more likely to experience the impact that we're actually looking for. When you can simplify your program into this nice linear view with numbers attached, I can spot immediately where there could be a problematic area. It's a wonderful overview that gives you at a glance how the state of things are.
A user funnel is the first step towards making practical improvement to your programs. We are seeing pioneer organizations that really make active use of user research, user journeys, and user funnels. I can take the example of Digital Green. They have an application that allows farmers to adopt agricultural best practices. They are looking in depth into how onboarding a farmer in their application look like and identify the key moments in which the farmers may be losing attention, maybe dropping the app completely, and trying to intervene to make the journey more enjoyable.
So Digital Green is working with farmers in India and Africa, ensuring that the right advisory reaches to farmer through multiple touch points. We also launched a application called Farmer Chat, which is a Gen AI chatbot, which is for users to access all kind of agriculture and related advisory. Now we are trying to diversify where it's a non-guided onboarding. Farmers can discover us and then they can do the onboarding themselves. So the initial experimentation, we saw a huge drop off in those onboardings, like, the download to the first home screen and then asking first query on chatbot. There was like 40% drop off, which was huge. And then we were trying to figure out like what can be the cause. So we did a lot of experimentation around that. We realized once the user comes on the home page, he doesn't understand what to do next. Getting up to the solution was setting up the dashboard, understanding where the user drop off is, and also trying to understand, is it because of the feature or is it just because user is not understanding it?
If those users that you're reaching out to disappear before they realize that impact, then I'm not spending my dollars wisely. Nowadays, it's even more critical, especially for the social sector, particularly the evidence-based movement, really cares about the social return of impact for every dollar spent.
We realized that validating an hypothesis for nonprofit in the social sector is not such an easy thing. First of all, they are resource constrained, but in terms of staff and money, it may be hard for nonprofit to buy commercial A/B testing tools that are quite expensive. And even the ones that are free are kind of hard to operate. You need to have some statistical knowledge. That's why we built free open source A/B testing tool called Evidential that allow nonprofit to seamlessly go from an hypothesis to an answer.
After doing the funneling, then we ran experimentation on setting up different tools to help users to understand like what they need to do next so that it can solve that funnel drop off. So that particularly helped us reduce that drop off over time. We have seen like 40% higher number of users are now completing the onboarding.
And by the way, once you have this funnel, that literally is the backbone to the user's journey. What is pushing them away from the program, what's pulling them into the program. As the agency fund, we're also really excited by it because we don't see this tool adopted very much by orgs in the social sector. And we really want to spread this message as far and wide as possible because it is such a useful tool. You shouldn't think that your intervention is static. This allows you to have a baseline to iteratively learn from your users, their experiences, come up with hypotheses, and think about ways to improve your program over time.
In some sense, we can see a lot of similarities between the private and the social sector, and we can learn a lot. Buying a pair of shoes on Amazon or improving farmers' income are very similar processes from a product standpoint. The end goal is overall the same. We want to follow the user until that magic moment in which they create value. User funnels is the critical first step into building that rapid experimentation muscle because it allows you to understand who your users are, track their journeys, and identify where to intervene.